Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the second channel. Today let's talk about thumbnails. I'm actually quite happy with what I achieved here, so I just want to walk you through about basically how I go about making a unique thumbnail that no one else has. So let's just talk about exactly what my problem was here. I needed a thumbnail for my review of Neptunia Senran Kagura Ninja Wars. Problem is I'm about a month or so late. So probably a little bit more actually. So you can see here there's some reviews already going on. Like this one here actually has the image that I wanted to use. Then a couple of people are using that one with Asuka and Nep going, head to head, the same one as the as on the cover there, but with different backgrounds. This one of the game Ninjastry World. This one is from PlayStation itself, and it just has like a pattern background. This one's a bit different too. It has a bit of the world in the background, but it also is white. It fades to white there, so I guess you could see the logo a bit better. So, and here again, as you can see, that they're farther away. So there's all kinds of variations there. So yeah, all of these images I didn't want to use because, well, they're not going to look unique, right? And I also, of course, this is actually easy enough to do. There's so many times where I accidentally almost ended up using an image that I've used in the past. So at one point I almost used this one, but I did use that one in one of the announcement videos. I don't remember if it's the North American or the Japanese one. Oh, look, here's some of my videos. Oh yeah, and this as well here. So there's like two variations of this image here, but I figured, you know what? I'm not going to use any of those. My instinct was to use this. So, but like, how can I use this and make it unique? Well, the thing is, I have the limited edition, and I realized, hey, this is actually the front of the limited edition, which shows the Nep girls. The back shows the Senran Kagura girls. So, here you can see actually. By the way, I always try to upscale with the waifu. This thing here. So that gives me extra resolution to work with if I need it. But anyways, back to this here. But the equivalent image is, of the Senran Kagura girls anyways, is this one here. And it's like, okay, they look similar, right? They have different colors. But maybe I could combine them. Maybe I could cut out Asuka here, and then also Neptune here. But I really like the background stuff that's going on here. So it's like, okay, let's try something else. So I figured, hey, let's combine those two images into one and make a unique image. I know not everybody can do this, but, I'll explain a little bit what I did, and hopefully it'll help you out if you're trying to do something like this. By the way, this is how I have my files here. So I have my layers, sorry. There's unbox and unbox copy. So yeah, you can imagine that this was like, I don't know how many years ago, over 5 years ago. I made an unboxing and then I never changed the name. So the first one's always the top, the other one's always the bottom. And yeah, that's my title thing here. Then I also have hue and saturation as well as curves on top of the entire image, which we'll talk about later. Also vignette. But let's go with the basics. So I put in this picture here, and then I put in this picture of Asuka here. I played around a little bit just with positioning to see, does that make sense? And this seems to be the best positioning. Yes, there's some characters cut off here, and, Noir isn't seen here, and you do see those two here. But we'll get to that a little bit later. So the thing I did then is I added a mask. So basically a mask, if you don't know, I'm going to enable that, allows you to make certain parts of the image visible or invisible. So as you can see here, the black bits mean it erases those bits. And the thing is, you can use a brush, so, and then, it has a soft edge. Then it'll also have a soft edge in terms of, as you can see here, as the image gets erased, right? Let's I'm not going to save that, obviously. So what I did is I went all the way around just to make sure that Neptune's, whatever this is, like part of her outfit is there. And you can see here also there as well with the swords, you know, arm, hair, and everything. So it actually wasn't too bad. And like, even if I mess up a little bit, this is a thumbnail, you know, thumbnails for YouTube are only 720. So 1280 by 720 specifically. So, you know, when it's like this, you don't really see it. But you can see actually where I didn't, like here, for example, it's a bit see-through-y, but that's all right. But basically, just so you can kind of see how it works, you know, you can kind of, you know, let's say it's like this, you can go like this. If it's a bit too much, just go back and forth like this. So basically, you fine-tune it like this. You could also use lasso tools and everything, but I was just so done with that. I don't know why. I was using lasso tool or not the polygon lasso tool for something. I can't quite remember. And I was just so annoyed with it. I decided, you know what, I'm going to use this view or this way of doing things. Plus, you can blend the background pretty nicely. And that's why you have a cool effect between the two images, right? But then, of course, the other thing is, like, what do we do with all these cut off people here? So what I did is I put in two gradients. And basically what I did is I did a, what do you call this again? You know, when you can do like multiply, lighten, screen, all that stuff. And then I figured, hey, you know, what's a good way to obscure these characters without making them, making that technique stick out somehow? Overlay, like, I don't think was good enough. So I was like, hard light ended up being the best because it casted like a tinge over, or a tint over basically all of them. But just in case you are wondering, exactly here what I did. So for this one here with the Nep girls, I did, hold on, I'll show you. I'll do normal. There we go. I have a layer mask too, which just affects that side of the image. But basically it looks like this. I took this kind of blue from the sky, and then this sort of purplish or purpley bit from probably down here somewhere. And then, yeah, hard light looked the best in my opinion, because it kind of blends with the background, right? So now it looks like, you know how in smog or fog effect, things in the background, you know, it looks like there's like a layer over them that makes them less defined. So that's kind of what's happening here. And I did the same thing just with other colors. So this green as well as this red here from the moon. There's two moons, by the way, which is funny, but it still looks good. And yeah, so you don't really see, I mean, you still see Yuumi, you know, Yuumi's chest trying to poke through here. But that's also fixed with a vignette, so that draws your eyes a little bit in the middle. In case you don't know, a vignette just means it's basically just a slightly dark edge. I use that on almost every single thumbnail. And then another thing I did was curves, just to, I don't know, normally you don't want to darken YouTube images too much, but I think this looks good. And then this is what I always do. I throw in 25 plus saturation. So in YouTube, that means they pop quite a bit. See, it might be a little bit much. Like if it was, you know, if this was, let's say, a piece of art, I might not make it that punchy. But considering they're like this small, you end up, you know, getting more of an impact here. And see at this size how you don't really see the other characters that much there, and then, you know, it's not really such a big deal. And then the best thing is, once you put the title in, you don't really acknowledge the fact that these characters are cut off. Something in graphic design that we learned is that there's kind of a Z pattern when you look over a page, like on a lot of things. So, you know, you start here, it goes, let me zoom in. so it's not tiny. But you start off here on the top left, go to the right, then you go diagonally down and then across. So there we go. You see, it starts by the moon, and Asuka goes over to Neptune, stops at this moon, goes over here, and there's the text. You read the text. You don't really see that too much, and then your eye kind of travels across. There you go. I don't always really follow that, but it just happened to all kind of fall into place, so that's good. So yeah, I was quite pleased with this, with the end result here. I think it turned out quite nice. I really like this transition here. It just looks, about as seamless as I can make it. And it does look like it's supposed to be one image, and I'm quite happy with that. And guess what? The great thing is nobody else has done that, so this is a unique image. Ironically, I'm going to use this image as part of the thumbnail for this video, actually. So technically, there's going to be 2 thumbnails that use this image. If you have any questions, just post in the comments. I'll try and do my best and answer, your whatever it may be. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.